Hello, English learners. Welcome to Learn English Through Story. Today, we tell a true story about the Wright brothers. They were American inventors. They made the first airplane. This story is for beginners. It uses simple words and easy sentences. You will learn about history. You will practice English. The Wright brothers changed the world. They made flying possible. Their story is exciting. Listen carefully. Follow the words on the screen. Enjoy the story. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The brothers' early life. The Wright brothers were Orville and Wilbur. They were born in America. Wilbur was born in 1867. Orville was born in 1871. They lived in Dayton, Ohio. Ohio had farms, rivers, and small towns. The brothers grew up together. Their father was a bishop. A bishop is a church leader. Their mother was kind. She liked machines. She fixed things. The brothers learned from her. They loved to build. As boys, they played with toys. Their father gave them a toy helicopter. It was small. It flew with rubber bands. The brothers loved it. They wanted to make things fly. Orville and Wilbur were curious. Curious means wanting to learn. They read books. They read about machines. They read about science. Science is how things work. They worked together. They shared ideas. The brothers had a shop. They fix bicycles. Bicycles have wheels. People ride them. The shop was in Dayton. The brothers made money. They used the money for experiments. An experiment is a test. They wanted to fly. Orville was funny. Wilbur was serious. They were good brothers. They helped each other. They dreamed of flying. They wanted to build a machine. A machine that could fly. Chapter 2. Dreaming of flight. In the 1890s, people did not fly. They used horses. They used trains. They used boats. Flying was a dream. The Wright brothers wanted to fly. They read about flying. They read about birds. Birds have wings. Birds fly in the sky. The brothers studied wings. They studied air. Air helps things fly. Other people tried to fly. They made gliders. A glider is a plane with no engine. Gliders did not work well. They crashed. A crash is when something falls. The brothers wanted better gliders. Orville and Wilbur wrote letters. They asked for books. They asked for ideas. They learned from other inventors. They wanted a flying machine. The brothers chose a place. It was Kitty Hawk. Kitty Hawk was in North Carolina. It had wind. Wind helps flying. It had sand. Sand is soft. It was safe for crashes. The brothers were excited. They said, "We will fly." They worked hard. They were ready to try. Chapter 3. Building the Flyer. In 1900, the brothers went to Kitty Hawk. They took tools. They took wood. They took cloth. They built a glider. The glider had wings. The wings were big. They were made of cloth. The glider had a frame. The frame was wood. The brothers tested it. They flew it like a kite. The glider did not work well. It crashed. The brothers were not sad. They learned from mistakes. A mistake is something wrong. They built another glider. In 1901, they tried again. The new glider was better. It flew a little. It still crashed. The brothers studied more. They made a wind tunnel. A wind tunnel tests wings. They tested shapes. They tested air. In 1902, they built a better glider. It flew farther. It stayed in the air. The brothers were happy. They wanted more. They wanted a real airplane. In 1903, they built the Flyer. The Flyer was special. It had an engine. An engine makes power. The engine was small. It was light. The Flyer had propellers. Propellers spin to move the plane. The brothers worked together. They were ready. Chapter 4. The first flight in 1903. On December 17th, 1903, the brothers were ready. They were in Kitty Hawk. The flyer was on the sand. The wind was strong. Orville went first. He sat in the flyer. The engine started. The propellers spun. The flyer moved. It went up. It flew for 12 seconds. It went 120 feet. It was the first flight. Wilbur watched. He was excited. The brothers tried again. Wilbur flew next. He flew longer. He flew 175 feet. They flew 4 times. The last flight was 852 feet. It lasted 59 seconds. The brothers were happy. They did it. They flew a plane. People came to see. They took pictures. The news spread. America was proud. The flyer was small. It was made of wood. It had cloth wings. It was the first airplane. The brothers were heroes. A hero is a great person. Chapter 5. Impact on travel. The first flight changed the world. People could fly. They could go far. They could go fast. The brothers made better planes. They flew longer. They flew higher. Other people built planes. Flying became popular. By 1910, planes carried mail. They carried people. Cities had airports. An airport is a place for planes. People traveled across America. Planes helped farmers. They sprayed crops. Planes helped soldiers. They flew in wars. Planes made life faster. Today, planes are big. They carry hundreds of people. They go to other countries. People fly every day. The Wright brothers started it. America was proud. The brothers showed the world. Flying was possible. They changed travel. They changed life. Chapter 6. The Wrights' legacy. The Wright brothers became famous. People knew their names. They wrote books. They gave speeches. They taught others. Their flyer is in a museum. It is in Washington. D.C. People visit it. They see the plane. They see the wings. Airports are named after them. Dayton has an airport. It is called Wright-Patterson. People remember them. Schools teach about the brothers. Children read their story. They learn about flying. The brothers are heroes. Their legacy is strong. Legacy means what you leave behind. They gave us airplanes. They gave us dreams. Chapter 7. Lessons from the Wrights. The Wright brothers teach us lessons. They teach us about hard work. They built gliders. They built the flyer. They worked every day. They teach us about trying. They crashed many times. They did not stop. You can try. You can learn English. They teach us about teamwork. Orville and Wilbur worked together. They helped each other. You can work with friends. They teach us about dreams. They dreamed of flying. They made it happen. You have dreams. You can speak English. The brothers' story is like your story. They had a goal. A goal is something you want. You will learn English. Be brave. Work hard. You will succeed. Thank you for listening to the Wright brothers' story. You learned about their life. You learned about the first flight. They made airplanes. They changed the world. Watch this video again. Practice your English. Share this story with friends. Keep learning. Subscribe to learn English through story. We have more stories for you. See you next time.